morning, students. Welcome back, students. Now, students, today we'll be starting with the third chapter of Indian economic development. Students, we this chapter is about features, problems, and policies of Indian agriculture. That means there were some policies, there were some features, there were some problems which were related with Indian agriculture. Indian economy, as you all know, that Indian economy is known to be an agrarian economy, but there are some features which we will be studying in this video. There are some problems which were faced by many agriculturists, which they saw that there are some problems with the Indian agricultural industry. Next, we will be dealing with the policies with the agricultural sector was facing, the changes which were done in the agricultural sector from the period at independence till today. We have some policies which are daily on the basis there are changes year after year. Now, first we will start with the topic why, what is the importance of agriculture in an Indian economy. There was huge importance of agriculture. That means a vital importance of agriculture was there in an Indian economy. We can see that there was a huge contribution of GDP. The contribution which the GDP was having in the agriculture industry, we can say the agricultural sector was huge. In 1950-51, the agricultural sector was contributing in GDP is 50 to 51%, but it is declined till 2018-19 to 17%. But this does not show that there is a huge decline in the importance, but it shows that the with the primary sector, the secondary and the tertiary sector has also been given an importance. We can say that the importance which was only to the agricultural sector has given the importance to the industrial sector as well as the tertiary sector, that means packaging and all, were also being given importance, and the contribution from these sectors have come up in 2018 and 19. But this does not mean that means that the decline was in the importance was there. The contribution in GDP was too high. The importance was there that the supply of wage good means necessity goods, maize, pulses, rice, wheat. The supply of these wage goods, which were the basic necessities of the public, which are population, which was of the Indian economy, was relying on these wage goods, and these wage goods were only being provided by the agricultural sector. Next, there was, well, we can say that 51% of the population in India rely on agricultural sector. That means the people employed in the agricultural sector is half of the India's population. Nowadays, also we can say that the 40% of the population is employed in the agricultural sector. So the sources of employment which was given to the agricultural sector were too high. This supply of the raw materials, what do you mean by raw materials? The basic raw material which are used in for manufacturing the finished goods comes from the agricultural sector only. The agricultural sector was the key basic good provider for these industrial goods. So the raw materials like textile industry was needing the raw material as cotton. So the sugar cane industry was needing the raw material as sugar cane. So the sugar industry was needing a raw material of sugar cane. So the silk industry, or we can say that the finished goods, your shirts, cotton shirts, the raw material comes from cotton only. The silk handlooms, the silk kurta pajamas, what we are wearing by the this designers kurta pajama nowadays, a trend which we are wearing the in the marriages also, the silk one, they all come from silkwood. So silk production, the this raw material is the basic supplier of raw materials is agricultural sector. Sources of demand of this industrial good has come from these agricultural sector only. We can say that the industrial goods are being demanding have come in demand, like tractors, threshers, the cutters, the grinders, what the mixer grinders. See, these are the industrial goods which have come up in demand nowadays also. And after independence, these rely on the agriculture. ये सब आपको इंडस्ट्रियल गुड्स की डिमांड जो है वो हमारे एग्रीकल्चरल सेक्टर से ही आई है, एग्रीकल्चर से ही आई है. अगर आप देखो थ्रेशर, ट्रैक्टर्स, मिलर्स, ट्रिलर्स, these all are in demand because of agricultural production, because the people have to load them and they come for production. Similarly, if we say that if the raw materials for packing these atta, Ashirwad, if these industries are surviving or these industries are coming on boom, their atta, multigrain or not, because of the raw material which is provided by this agricultural sector. Contribution of international trade. The international trade and domestic trade was given the huge importance. These trade were on the basis of these agricultural sector. International trade was a importance which was there, and in 2018 and 19 the international trade was 11.6%. And you know that these exports of these in agricultural goods were given, and in place of agricultural goods we used to import a crude oil and defense goods. You can see that defense goods were being imported on the export of the finished goods of agriculture only. The crude oil was imported in India on the basis of this agricultural finished goods only. You can see that tea, coffee, jute, cotton, their spices, cashew nuts, all are being exported, and they have a huge demand of these finished goods in foreign countries. So India is a huge exporter of these goods. Now we come on the support of transport industry. Your transport industry, your trains, your carriages, they all are dependent on these farm products and these farming goods only. The two-way production, the support system of the industry, transport industry is the basic, is on the basic need of these inter transformation of these agricultural goods from one stage to another. That means the domestic trades had increased the transport industry of India also. Wealth of the nation was the basic. If we find that there are huge farmers, there are some farmers, if I tell you the case study of IIM Ahmedabad, the first batch pass out has been exporting the potatoes which are sugar free, and we can say that they are very good potatoes which we have. That student has been uh, taken out, and the exporter, the Indian market is not meant for that potatoes. They all production of that potatoes which is done in Punjab is being exported, and that is why I'm saying that we get the foreign exchange from the export of these goods. The foreign exchange has been increased, which has become a wealth of the nation. The wealth being, the people are being eradicated by the poverty, which is the basic of the agricultural sector. That means there is huge importance of agricultural sector from the independence area and till 2018 and 19. Now before studying why we are lacking in the agricultural sector in today's scenario also, we'll see what are the features of the Indian agriculture industry. Okay, so first we will see what was the feature, why we are seeing that there is a problem in the agricultural sector, or we can say that India being an agrarian economy, we say that the production is limited, or we can say that India's first feature of Indian agricultural economy says that we have got low productivity. Here I have shown the comparison of rice, maize and wheat in the from the Sensex of 2014. This is on the output per hectare of land. It shows that the wheat production in China is 6.5, in UK it is 9, and in India it is 3.1 only. Similarly, the basic, what we say that rice, What we are saying, that we are the producer of wheat and rice. Rice in China, it is 6.8 output per hectare of land, and in India it is only 3.6. Similarly, the production of maize in China, it is 5.8, but in India it is 2.6 only. But in USA, we say that bhutta, we are famous for these corns, bhutta, but see the production of USA, that is America, it is 10.7. So there, that means there is some problem with the agricultural sector. We are dependent on the agricultural sector. We are the basic farmers of the agricultural sector. The main population of India is dependent on the agricultural sector, but the productivity census shows that there is some lacking with the this agricultural sector in India. So there is why we are saying that features of this will show the clear picture. Disguised unemployment is too high. What do you mean by disguised unemployment? For example, I have a land and there are four sons. If we divide these four sons and they all are occupied, but the product we are producing, what is produced by four sons can also be produced by the two sons. That means two sons are just being there, but output is not. This is known as they're working, but simply nothing is the produced. This is known as disguised unemployment. Now, we can discuss that India being the major unemployment is there in agricultural sector. It is disguised. The people are not knowing that they are not producing anything. They seems that they are going on this much hands, this much production, but they are not seeing that if you have got more hand does not mean the productivity is also high. So when we talk about disguised unemployment, there are many ways for India to can shift to this disguised unemployment to employment opportunities. When we discuss that in nearby areas, we can have storage facility, we can provide with different industries which are there in semi-urban and mainly rural areas, so that disguised unemployment can be convertible. Multi-cropping, organic farming, fertilizers production can reduce the disguised unemployment, which is a basic problem in the agricultural sector in the Indian economy. Dependence on rainfall. We say that we are in 21st century, but dependence on rainfall in India in many states is a must. You can see in the latest news also where we have got all over flood, but in Madhya Pradesh the farmers are dependent on rainfall. They are pleading to God that give us rainfall. In other areas of India, yesterday only I have seen the news that this is the scenario. All rest of the states have got flood, but in Madhya Pradesh the farmers are dependent on rainfall. They are praying that there should be little more rainfall which they are needing for growing their crops. So the people are dependent on substensive farming. What do you mean by substensive farming? Substensive means हम अपने लिए ही प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, हम इतना प्रोड्यूस करते हैं कि हमारे लिए सेल्फ सफिशिएंट है, but we are not exporting or we are not even selling the product in the India market. हम जितना कमाए हम उतना खा ले, हम उतनी प्रोडक्शन करें जो सिर्फ हमारे लिए हो. That means we are producing that much which is needed for us only, but we are not seeing the maize. How can we waste from where we can increase the production? Now, so substensive farming can be taken over by multi-cropping, multi-level farming. Vertical farmings can also be the answer to the solution to these. Only substensive farming, because we are just relying on ourselves, but we are not relying on the basic necessity that we should sell our product in the market. Productivity will only increase when we have this idea that हमें बहुत ज़्यादा profit कमाना है. We should not be relaxed and survival. So that is why per capita income in India is less, because people are basically on substensive farming. A lack of modern inputs in India. Now also we are not using the major inputs. You can see that in place of Tractors, buffaloes and cows are used for this plowing your fields. You are seeing the women throwing the seeds in this soil. You are seeing that we are not using the level of water irrigation facilities, we are not using, which are very prominent these days. We are just using the basic inputs, which is known as seeds. The cows are yours. Tractors also we are not using. We are using that bell gadis for the plowing of the fields, and the person after that is cow is plowing the field, and the person is putting the seeds and some water is being. So we are not on to the modern equipment till now also. Small holdings, what do you mean by small holding? Small farmers have got small holdings, so we are not able. छोटी छोटी होल्डिंग्स है, सबकी सबकी स्कैटर्ड है, कुछ की इधर है, कुछ की इधर है, कुछ की इधर है, सब अपनी अपनी बाउंड्रीज बना देते हैं, लैंड और छोटी हो जाती है, उस पर और ट्रैक्टर्स और हम नहीं चला पाते, बिकॉज दे नीड सम एरिया फॉर रोटेटिंग. सो स्मॉल एंड फ्रेगमेंटिंग होल्डिंग has given a bad role to the agricultural economy. The people should unite and have a big holding so that the people can use these good techniques of production. Landlord tenant conflicts is a huge problem. Before independence also that this was a problem. Now also, if you see that this time we have got mangoes production. Do you know that maximum mangoes जिस हम कहते हैं बगान्स जो हैं वो सारे किराए पे दिए जाते हैं, भाड़े पे दिए जाते हैं, जिससे वो प्रोडक्शन करे और सेल करे आउटपुट का, और प्रॉफिट जो है वो लैंडलॉर्ड को मिलता है. सो द फार्मर्स एंड द टिलर्स ऑफ द सॉइल, और वी कैन से दैट द लैंडलॉर्ड्स एंड द फार्मर्स are different. So that conflict is always there. Primitive technology is being used. We are not using today's technologies. We are not using the threshers, marketers in India. We are not even, see, we are not even advertising our basic farmers, which we are saying that 50% of our population is employed, but farmers के कोई ad नहीं है, उनके products के कोई ad नहीं है, which is a primitive technology. Though no high tech seeds, no high tech knowledges are there, the techniques which they using, they are very obsolete. They not even consult the mobile phones for high tech production of the goods. So the Indian features of Indian agriculture is not up to the mark what we should be doing till now after so many years of independence. Do you know that your neighboring country China was having these almost this similar they were also republic and independent at the similar years, just hardly a 1 or 2 year difference. So but their production, their mindset, technology wise, there are huge difference when we compare the neighboring countries. So this much for today. Have a nice day, revise the points, study from the book, and stay blessed, stay at home.